The National Democratic Congress is accusing the special prosecutor of being political with the Airbus scandal case. The case, which has been linked to some personalities in the NDC, has been under investigation since the era of the former special prosecutor Martin Amidu. The special prosecutor, in its first half-year report, revealed that the Airbus case was part of over 120 cases under investigation. But in an interview with Citi News, Director of Legal Affairs of the NDC, Abraham Amaliba, indicated that investigations ought to have been concluded by now and further attributed the delay to political interference.
The matter which started in the UK has been discontinued and has ended in the UK. The special, that office that is supposed to be dealing with that matter has closed the docket. And so if you are in Ghana and you are not taking a leaf from your counterparts in the UK and you say that you are continuing investigations, then you will hit a brick wall. And that, for me, should have been a matter the special prosecutor should come clean on it. But I know that because it's a political matter, it is one that they are tagging the NDC for it. They will continue to leave it on the books.
That was the Director of Legal Affairs of the NDC, Abraham Amaliba.
Now, a private legal practitioner has called for the placement of a quota on how much government can tax Ghanaians. Mr. David Ofosu-Dote, who is a senior partner of AB and David Africa, a Pan-African business law firm, said this while speaking at a public lecture to observe Constitution Day. According to him, the intended purpose of most of these taxes have not been achieved. Thus, the move will prevent citizens from excess taxation and force the government to cut down on expenditure.
We ought to be thinking of an upper limit beyond which governments cannot tax us, imposing it by law, that there must be an upper limit beyond which government cannot impose taxes. And now that I did hear that now that we do have a situation where a private member bill can be introduced, I will recommend to our parliamentarians that this is one area they need to be looking at, that there should be a limit as to the ability of government to levy taxes on us. Otherwise, they will continue increasing their expenditure and indirectly pass on the expenditure to the citizens who voted them. The worst is, to the best of my knowledge, none of these levies, absolutely none, has achieved this purpose. So we collect the money, it doesn't achieve this purpose, and we add more. Particular reference will be made to the road fund and the toll recovery fund, both of which were expected to eradicate the problem once and for all. You know the answer. Now, the idea about limiting the government's borrowing, taxes on us, should also come with another idea of limiting the government's ability to borrow. Because how are these expenditures made? They are made by the government either borrowing externally or borrowing from our local market, bonds or T-bills to fund these expenditures, and they end up passing it on to us. Again, I think it is important that we limit the government's ability to borrow.
That was a senior partner of AB and David Africa, a Pan-African business law firm, David Ofosu-Dote. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live from our studios at Adabraka in Accra. I'm Wilma Obuobi-Sakoma, and this afternoon I'm here with Charles Osukumi. Still ahead in the bulletin, Electricity Company of Ghana in the Eastern region loses 18 poles to bushfires in 2023. We'll bring you details of this and others shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Fine, anyone can become the house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, anyone. Whether market woman, student, professional, even fisherman or cobbler. YouGoFlip, a real estate gaming platform that allows you to play and stand the chance of winning a house, cash, or other prizes, such as savings towards the house. Simple and easy to play. Visit www.yougoflip.com. Buy a ticket to enter the game. Wait for the end of the game to enjoy the win. Anyone can win.
Contact us on 0555 22 2490.
YouGoFlip.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Play responsibly, not for persons below 18 years, and gaming can be addictive.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Yeah, welcome back. Now, the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, in the Eastern region says it has recorded a total of 18 burnt poles in its operational areas within the first few days of 2023. According to the power distribution company, 7 poles at Donkokrom, 5 in Suhum, 3 in Bagro, and 2 in Impraiso, and 1 in Assesawa have been destroyed. The Eastern Regional Head of Marketing for ECG, Abraham Lincoln, who spoke to City News, called on all residents to assist them curtail and reduce bushfires this year in order to enhance quality service delivery.
We all know we've entered the Harmattan season, and when we enter the Harmattan season, one aspect of the Harmattan season is the outbreak of bushfires. And this year, we have already experienced some bushfires in some of our operational areas, and we are urging honorable members, opinion leaders, and our customers to help us curtail some of these bushfires in the various communities that you find yourselves in. We know this period is also farming season, and therefore farmers will want to prepare their farmlands. But we want to urge farmers that if there's a pool, a wooden pool within the vicinity of their farmland, we want them to create a fire belt around the pools before setting fire to prepare their farmland to forestall any occurrence of burnt pools or unplanned outages within the location that they find themselves in. If we are able to do this, we will also curtail electrocution as a result of bushfires, wires being on the bare floor, which can cause electrocution and death to our cherished customers. So please, let us all be vigilant. Let us all try to help in resolving this issue of perennial bushfires causing a lot of damages to our pools within operational areas.
You had the Eastern Regional Head of Marketing for ECG, Abraham Lincoln. Now, Accra is currently experiencing strong dry weather conditions due to the Harmattan season. City News' Akosi Otri interacted with some individuals who share with us how they are surviving during this period.
It is a cool and dry weather here in the capital. Yes, it is because it is the Harmattan season. Well, according to weather forecast, the Harmattan season is usually stronger from November to mid-March. Now, it is just January, the first month of the year, and we're experiencing the intensity of the dry season. We'll just go around some parts of the capital, Accra, to find out from people what they make of this particular season, especially as the weather has intensified in terms of the dry season, and also what remedies they are putting in place to ensure that they are keeping safe and keeping their skins moist.
Harmattan had come very early. In fact, it was unexpected. At one point, it hit us, boom, just like that. And as the day grows, it hits our nostrils. Even our mouths has begun to crack. And we are not prepared to face it because the price of shea butter now is being increased. So if you can notice, my mouth is beginning to crack and other things. This morning, I wake up to do a little weeding so as to keep the place and to get the year going. But then, because of the severity of the Harmattan, I had to stop on the way because my throat began to dry up. And so then I had to stop. So I worry about farmers somewhere up north and other things and how they are getting to work on this Harmattan.
You're fine.
What's your name?
I'm Rose.
Rose, and you?
Isabella. Melissa.
Okay, I see you smeared a lot of pomade on your skin. Is it because of the Harmattan?
Yes, please. The Harmattan is really disturbing us, but we are trying to manage it with shea butter and then little creams. And we have to get those mint ointments for our nose and lips, and even our eyes. Me, for instance, whenever the weather is disturbing, I'm trying to read things on phone. It makes the moisture in my eyes, it dries up, so I find it difficult to see. So I have to close my eyes for a while before I continue with my reading. But we are managing.
Okay, to me, I'm okay, but you see, those with the dry skins, they find it difficult to go out at this moment because you're already dry, then the weather is dried. So
So you don't have a dry skin?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Let me see. Oh, true. Actually, I'll speak to some business owners here at La Paz, where I'm currently stationed. Will they tell me how serious the dry season is, especially in having to deal with the dusty nature of the road, also affecting their products that they are selling out there due to the Harmattan season.
You realize that our road is not constructed. So all over this stretch that links to the other road that will link to the N1 motorway, it's been dusty. And so we have to throw water on the road, which is against AMA laws. But then that is the next thing we have to do. So we are suffering. We down here, it's fact, we are suffering from this dust as the wind blows and it goes into our rooms and nostrils. It is one hazardous, challenges we are facing down here on this road. Primary remedy now is to secure some shea butter. Get yourself washed immediately and smear them all over, from head to toe, including your lips and inside your nostrils and other things. That is what you are doing. And then
you put the shea butter in your nostrils.
Sometimes we get some lubricant such as rub and this olive oil and those things. Then we insert them in so as to lubricate the places, because it gets so dry that cracks, you feel it all over. So those are the things we use. And then we get some warm water, and then periodically and intermittently we drink some water down, we gulp it down our throat so we can have the place very wetty and get going. Because then at a point, if you don't keep drinking water, you feel it in the throat.
You heard Citi News' Akosia Ocho interacting with some individuals who share their views on how they are surviving during the Harmattan season.
Now to some coronavirus news. The Ghana Health Service has reviewed existing protocols at the Kotoka International Airport to commence on Friday. The service says although there had been a decline and sustained low levels of COVID-19 cases in Ghana over the past 3 months, the revised protocols have become necessary because of the current global COVID-19 situation, particularly with a reported increase in new cases in China and some other countries. There's more in this report by Citi News' Eno Safu.
The Ghana Health Service has announced that it is going to review and tighten existing COVID-19 protocols at Ghana's borders, specifically the Kotoka International Airport. We're here at the Ghana Health Service today to speak to the Director of Public Health, Dr. Franklin Esiedu Bequin, to find out what those measures are.
The issue is there's a kind of uncertainty about China. We are not sure what has been happening there over the past 2 years that it was closed. So if you have this new influx of persons to countries, people are not so sure. So countries have tried to review their guidelines about how to handle cases of China until they are sure that what is happening there is similar to what's happening in other countries. So this new scenario called that Ghana we need to look at our protocols. So we are looking at an avenue to reduce or to address importation of cases. So that's how come we put about this measures. So if you look at the measures, the original measures, if you are vaccinated, you are kind of exempted from PCR tests. You also exempted from tests at the airport. But here we are making an assumption that there's a threat coming from China. So even though you are coming from China, you are vaccinated or not, to us, we assume that you are not vaccinated, and they will test you. So that's the change that we've tried to introduce.
The Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, had asked the Ghana Health Service advice on how to embark on travel after China opened its borders for trade. Now, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs today released a statement indicating that only critical or important travel to China should be embarked on. We're going to speak to the Vice President of GUTA, Clement Boateng, on how his members are taking this information.
We are not surprised that Ghana Health Service, have heeded to our calls and then have, come out with some protocols to be adhered to at least those who will be, traveling to China. And as you have all heard it, if you are coming from China to Ghana here, you must be in a possession of a PCR negative test, which is up to 48 hours. And also when you reach Kotoka International Airport, also you'll be tested again.
Dr. Kwame Amponsah-Chiano, the manager of the expanded program on immunization at the Ghana Health Service, insists that vaccination is the only way we can protect ourselves from COVID-19.
We're doing quite well, but we could do better. Yes, better means that we could have had more people getting vaccinated than we have now, even though it's not that bad. If you look at our trajectory, I would say that we've come quite far. We're now doing about 22, 23 million doses, which is a lot. If you translate that into human beings, we're doing about, I would say, more than 12 million persons have ever come for a vaccine, which is quite fine. But we could do more because we know we still have people who have never been vaccinated.
Some of the measures instituted at the Kotoka International Airport include all passengers arriving to Ghana from China will be required to present a PCR test, a 48-hour PCR test. In addition, they are mandated to take a COVID test at the airport at no cost to the passengers. These, among other measures, have been instituted at the Kotoka International Airport. For Citi News, my name is Eno Safo.
Away from COVID-19 issues to some other stories, the 33-year-old scrap dealer Nuhu Sule, accused of stealing American rapper Meek Mill's phone, is expected to reappear in court on January 17, 2023. Nuhu Sule, during his first appearance before an Accra Circuit Court yesterday, pleaded not guilty to the stealing charges proffered against him by the police. The suspect was picked up by the police on Friday, December 30, 2022, for allegedly stealing Meek Mill's iPhone 14 during the Afro Nation Festival at the Independence Square in Accra.
Now, the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, DVLA, has introduced new measures to deal with the perennial congestion recorded at its premises as a result of the mad rush for number plates at the beginning of each year. Under the new arrangements, motorists go through the process of pre-inspection to ensure that their vehicles are in good condition for registration. Speaking to Citi News, the Greater Accra Regional Manager of DVLA, Atakuma Mensah, said this year's registration has been orderly. There is more in the following report by Citi News' Daniel Sakite, read by Nashika Caesar.
The new year for the Driver Vehicle Licensing Authority has begun in earnest, with its premises buzzing with lots of activities. This is because motorists have been trooping to their regional offices across the country to get the 2023 edition of the car registration number plates. In the Greater Accra region, some car owners and motorists were seen thronging the DVLA's office, while others were seen visiting offices on the premises in a bid to secure their number plates. Greater Accra Regional Manager of the DVLA, Atakuma Mensah, in an interview with Citi News, said the process has been orderly compared to previous years.
We started the year on a good note. The usual congestion in our compound was not experienced. And if you go around, you see there's orderliness. This is because most people, did what we call pre-inspection. So eventually, they have their vehicles inspected in December 2022, which means moving forward, they only come to our premises with their documents, approved documents for the process to continue.
Mr. Atakuma Mensah further sounded a word of caution to motorists who embellish their car number plates. He warned that the authority, in collaboration with the MTTD, would crack the whip on offenders who fall on the wrong side of the law.
So if you go your own way to have embellished plates fixed on your vehicle, it's in violation of the law. Unfortunately, DVLA in connection with the MTTD, those days, Citi was involved with compliance and enforcement. So when those people are, apprehended, they are dealt with according to the law. So I would advise that if you want to have your vehicle duly registered, just go through the process and then make sure the right thing is done to avoid this embarrassment.
Some drivers who had just gotten their 2023 car number plates were elated. Others, however, expressed their disappointment in the process of acquiring the number plates.
There's a law and there's a processing. So you have to go through all the processing, then you got whatever you want to
Yeah. So the processing was so successful. Everybody needs something new in life. So we need a new number for this car. That's the reason why we want to register early the year.
It's kind of hectic compared to what I've witnessed before. Here, the difference is you have to go through custom and all those things, which was a little bit kind of confusing to me. If you are coming for a license plate, supposed to be DVLA, but going from custom before you go to DVLA, it's kind of headache. And then in Ghana, you know how the process goes. You got to know somebody for somebody to connect you to somebody. You find your paper somewhere. So it's if we can get a digital thing, then you fill up on the computer. Then when you come in, you're not supposed to go through what we normally go through.
Meanwhile, some persons who have been fixing the number plates on their cars were seen cashing in on the mad rush for the New Year number plates. They indicated that business was booming as many car owners rush in for the latest car number plates at the beginning of every year.
Register car na any fix it a car no ho. Nti na adwuma no general so de unse season. So I say no general de ba ya ward obi ya ward. After that na ya na maako nti general de also bo hard na ede. Onya bibi kakra. Oh, so far so good. First na 15 cedis for one car. But I say na 20 cedis for one car. Oh, economy na de enye na because ye materials na say de adwuma no. Oba economy increase price no. Nti unzo say ye adwuma per profit. Unti me adwuma na onya dey on boka.
That was a report filed by Citi News' Daniel Sakite and read by Nashika Caesar.
This is still the Citi Prime News live from our studios at Adabraka in Accra. Still ahead in the bulletin, Ghana Immigration Service dismisses reports that 47 African nationals who were arrested in connection with alleged terrorism and fraudulent acts have gone missing. We'll bring you details shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
It's creamy, creamy plus, delicious milk. Creamy plus for you.
Creamy Plus is a delightfully delicious option whenever and wherever the occasion calls for milk. For your quick meals on the go or quality time at the dining table, jazz up your favorite Gary soakings, mashed kenke, cereals, and all hot and cold beverages with a creamy, protein-rich, healthy option of milk. Creamy Plus evaporated milk with vegetable fat is all you need to stay on the go. Creamy Plus evaporated milk is now available in a shop near you.
For bulk purchases, please contact Les Farm Distributors at Medina Ritz Junction on 0501 682 522, or Grace has found us at Akoko Photo Dansoman on 0245 162 747.
Creamy Plus for you.
Creamy Plus evaporated milk.
This message has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Many thanks for staying with us. We'll continue with the bulletin. Now, the Ghana Immigration Service has dismissed reports that 47 African nationals who were arrested in connection with alleged terrorism and fraudulent acts have gone missing. The service says the 47 people arrested in the Ashanti region have all been repatriated to their various home countries. It further revealed that 20 out of the number were arrested by the Ejisu Municipal Immigration Command, while the other 27 were arrested at Achanse by the police in the Ashanti region. The clarification by the Immigration Service follows reports that confusion has erupted between the immigration and the police service over the whereabouts of the foreigners.
We head to the Ashanti region, where the regional executive of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, have accused former Finance Minister Dr. Kwabena Dufour of not following due processes in his distribution of items to various constituencies in the region under his Ahunto project. The party says it has been sidelined as far as the initiative is concerned. The party has also raised concerns with respect to the manner in which the donation to party members is being done. Abbas Nuruddin is the Ashanti Regional Communications Officer of the NDC.
What we want to put on record is that we are not against the provision of logistical support in any form to the party at any level. But we are of the view that the proper party structures must be used so that the regional executive body can supervise and ensure that those resources donated are put to very good use. And if you monitor the activities of the Ahunto project team, you would realize that it is not a donation to the party in the strict sense of the word, because the items are not donated to the party and the party allowed to take to manage it thereafter. Here, an NGO has been formed. They go to the constituencies, donate their items, and they form a 5-member committee that will manage the operations of those items donated, and whatever monies that are to be paid is to be lodged into an account, and 20% of the proceeds paid to the Ahunto project. So this is a different kind of arrangement that is unknown to the party.
Abbas Nuruddin also tells Citi News they have asked the party executives at the constituency level to redirect the leaders of the Ahunto project to channel the donations through the regional executives.
We sent a message across to constituency executives to redirect the group to the region so that we would at least iron out all these issues so that we don't face any problems moving forward. Because clearly the items donated is going to be run on some corporate governance principles, which require a certain level of involvement of the region. You can't go and enter into an agreement, if you like, a partially commercial agreement with the party at the constituency without the involvement of the party at the region. So we have called on the party to redirect them to the region so that all those issues would be ironed out.
You heard the Ashanti Regional Communications Officer of the National Democratic Congress, Abbas Nuruddin.
This is still the Citi Prime News broadcasting live from our studios in Adabraka, Accra. Some stories we have been bringing you. The Ministry of Education has directed all public universities to comply with the 15% increment in fees as approved by Parliament. We also brought you a story where opposition National Democratic Congress has accused the Special Prosecutor Kisi Ejabeng of being political with the Airbus scandal case. We also brought you government to collaborate with military to aid in the fight against illegal mining this year. And also the review of COVID-19 safety protocols at the Kotoka International Airport by the Ghana Health Service to commence tomorrow, January 6, 2023. We'll give you some other stories. Now, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abdullahi Jinapo, has expressed satisfaction with the 30% work done on the ongoing Apiati reconstruction works following the 20th January 2021 explosive disaster that wiped out the community and killed 16 persons. The minister, who said this during a tour of the Apiati reconstruction site, called on the public to continue to contribute to the Apiati Support Fund and re-emphasized government's commitment to judiciously utilize the funds to complete the first 124 model households within schedule.
The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abujinapo, accompanied by his Deputy Minister, Benito Usubio, who is in charge of the reconstruction, and the Minerals Commission's Board Chairperson, Barbara Otinjesi, was at the Apiati reconstruction site to inspect the ongoing reconstruction works of the first 124 houses. After receiving briefing from the project consultant, AESL, Samuel Abujinapo said the project is on course and has all the needed funds to complete the first phase.
As you can see, the fund is being put to judicious use, and we are insisting and determined to get value out of the funds which have been given out for this reconstruction. And I will also use this opportunity to continue to call on Ghanaians, to call on all and sundry to contribute to the fund, because as you can see, this is just phase one of the development. And indeed, people can take up even some of the projects like school blocks, nurseries, chief compounds and all of that and construct them by themselves. So all in all, I should say I'm very impressed.
An architect from AESL consulting firm gave clarity on when the first phase will be completed.
We have 106 different housing types going on out of 124. At the moment, we are above 30% completion. And we expect that by June 5th, we should complete the entire project and then hand over.
Citi News' Akwesi Ejing Enim filed that report. This is still the Citi Prime News, broadcasting live from our studios at Adabaka in Accra. We'll come back with more shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
It's creamy, creamy plus, delicious milk. Creamy plus for you.
Creamy Plus is a delightfully delicious option whenever and wherever the occasion calls for milk. For your quick meals on the go or quality time at the dining table, jazz up your favorite Gary soakings, mashed kenke, cereals, and all hot and cold beverages with a creamy, protein-rich, healthy option of milk. Creamy Plus evaporated milk with vegetable fat is all you need to stay on the go. Creamy Plus evaporated milk is now available in a shop near you.
For bulk purchases, please contact Les Farm Distributors at Medina Ritz Junction on 0501 682 522, or Grace has found us at Akoko Photo Dansoman on 0245 162 747.
Creamy plus for you.
Creamy Plus evaporated milk.
This message has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Dakar, Senegal, the city full of art like an open gallery, the city that harbors the pristine beaches of the West. Dakar, Senegal, the city that you can now get to faster. Fly to Dakar, Senegal from Accra 2 times a week with Kenya Airways. Visit www.kenya-airways.com or contact the Kenya Airways sales office to book a seamless flight from Accra to Dakar and over 40 other destinations. Kenya Airways, connecting Africa to the world and the world to Africa.
It's creamy, creamy plus, delicious milk. Creamy plus for you.
Creamy Plus is a delightfully delicious option whenever and wherever the occasion calls for milk. For your quick meals on the go or quality time at the dining table, jazz up your favorite Gary soakings, mashed kenke, cereals, and all hot and cold beverages with a creamy, protein-rich, healthy option of milk. Creamy Plus evaporated milk with vegetable fat is all you need to stay on the go. Creamy Plus evaporated milk is now available in a shop near you.
For bulk purchases, please contact Les Farm Distributors at Medina Ritz Junction on 0501 682 522, or Grace has found us at Akoko Photo Dansoman on 0245 162 747.
Creamy plus for you.
Creamy Plus evaporated milk.
This message has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Now, residents of Abeka and its adjoining communities are lamenting the irregular flow of water in their homes and workplaces. The residents say they have been experiencing this challenge for the past 2 weeks with no end in sight. The current situation has left many businesses on the verge of collapse. Citi News' Kweku Ediama Ansa has details in the following.
So for the past 2 weeks, residents living at La Paz, Abeka, and its adjoining communities have had to contend with the irregular supply of water through their taps in the various homes and workplaces. This, they say, has hampered the businesses that they do and their domestic activities. Some of them I have been interacting with have indicated that they have had to ration water each and every day just to stay afloat, particularly during their business times. And this, they say that they would want the authorities to do something urgent about it. Well, I have been interacting with some of them who have been using water domestically, and also some who have been using it for the commercial purposes.
The water does not flow as expected. We always get worried whenever there's an acute shortage. We wonder what the cause of this challenge is, but we get no answer. Almost a week now, we have been experiencing this problem. We are many in the house and we use water for domestic purposes. There are times we have to trek to access water. We pay between 50 pesos to 1 cedi for the water. To make all markets outside stop.
By this particular challenge and this particular shop that I will be entering, I'll be interacting with the in charge here, who has already indicated to me that life has become unbearable because they need to always put in place measures to actually ameliorate this challenge on their businesses. These residents that I have interacted with are calling on the authorities to urgently attend to this situation. They say that if nothing is done urgently about it, businesses may not survive. Reporting for Citi News, my name is Kweku Ediamansa.
Now, news coming in is that government's quest for a public debt relief is that it may go to the G20 Common Framework Program. We are joined in studio by my colleague Fred Jabano to tell us more. Many thanks for joining us, Fred. Fred, what more can you tell us?
Well, you recall that in the past few weeks, after government announced its plans to go to the IMF, there were several things which came up, and one of the things which came up was the issue to do with our debts, how to repay our debts, and the fact that we had exceeded our debt levels. Government put in place several measures to deal with this, to be able to get the IMF $3 billion facility. Ghana's debt, as we speak now, we are told, is in excess of 400 billion cedis. $400 billion cedis. It's in excess of 400 billion cedis. And governments in the past few months have been trying to find ways of dealing with this debt. It came up with the domestic debt restructuring program. With that particular program, as we speak now, most of our stakeholders, or the banks, the insurance companies, the pension fund managers, and the rest, are yet to subscribe to this particular program. There's also the external debt we have. You recall that before the end of the year, government wrote to its external debtors and that we couldn't pay, and they're looking at negotiating on how repayments could be done in some years' time. So we have that particular issue too. Government is still looking for ways to be able to deal with the debt. And now what we are told is that they've gone to the G20 to help in finding ways of giving us or writing off some of our debts. The G20 has a framework. It's called the Common Framework, and that framework is designed to allow speedy debt reworks. And it's been there for a while. You have countries such as Chad, Ethiopia, and Zambia, which have signed on to this particular framework. Most of them did that in 2021. Ghana is also seeking to follow these African countries to have their debt written off. This is some of the processes government is looking at to be able to ensure that the debt we owe our external the external people are dealt with. So yes, there are reports that there are discussions currently ongoing. Government has written to the G20. The G20 would meet and then would decide whether government will or Ghana would fit into this particular program. We are not sure yet when this thing would be approved. But then if it's approved, we are sure that government would have some debt relief from there.
Well, thank you very much for that. That was Fred Jabano giving us an update on the fact that governments may be forced to go to G20 Common Framework program for more support, financial support. This is still the Citi Prime News, broadcasting live from our studios at Adabraka in Accra. That's all time would allow us for on the Citi Prime News. Stories we brought you was that the Ministry of Education has directed all public universities to comply with the 15% increment in fees as approved by Parliament. We also brought you the opposition National Democratic Congress, who is accusing Special Prosecutor Kisi Ejebeng of being political with Airbus scandal case. For more news, you can log on to our website, citynewsroom.com. I am Wilma Obubi-Sakoman, and this afternoon I was here with
Charles Osukumi.
Many thanks for your time. Up next is the afternoon's edition of the City Business News with Nashika Caesar. Have a good afternoon.